Om Ajnanatimiraandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. We have been discussing the 8th chapter of the 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. And we were at a point where Krishna has eaten dirt, or maybe he is not. Sri Surdas Ji, Sri Jiva Goswami Pad, Sri Kavi Karnapur, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Sridhar Swami, Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan, Sri Srinath Chakravarti Ji, Srila Prabhupada. All these wonderful acharyas have been, for the last so many weeks, they have been holding us by the hand and taking us from one verse to another, teaching us, guiding us, inspiring all of us with some hidden jewels of the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. It has been mentioned by Sri Jiva Goswami that this pastime took place at Brahmanda Ghat. Well, some acharyas say this is just outside Krishna's home. Some say this is in Gokul Mahavan, where Krishna was, in Brahmanda Ghat. And in Brahmanda Ghat, even now when we go, this pastime has been explained by so many Vaishnavas that this is the place on the banks of the Jamuna called Brahmanda. It got its name because Brahmanda means the whole universe. Krishna ate the Braj Raj there, the dust of Vrindavan there, and showed the whole universe in his mouth, which is called Brahmanda. And therefore the place even today is called Brahmanda Ghat. Sri Jiva Goswami Pad explains that when Mother Yashoda caught Krishna red hand, Krishna started telling Mother Yashoda that, oh Maya, to be honest, all of them are teaming up against me. Mother Yashoda said, why will they team up against you? Krishna said, there is a secret that you don't know. That all these boys, they steal lots of sweets from their own homes and they bring it here. And just before starting to play, they open up their cloth knots and they say, okay, what did you steal from your home? What did you steal from your home? And everyone's talking to each other and they reveal their secrets. And I saw them, they're all thieves. So I wanted to come and tell you that this is what is going on. All of them are growing up to be thieves in Vrindavan. But before I could tell you, what they did was they forcibly took some sweets from their own hand or from their cloth with their own hand and they stuffed it into my mouth so that I would not be able to tell you. Oh, Maya, because I've been playing with mud and I'm trying to remove all that from my mouth. There's mud all over my mouth and mud all over my palms. To be honest, I have not eaten mud. Shri Jiva Goswami. Krishna's giving this argument and this thought to Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda is listening to this. And it is described that so wonderfully here it is mentioned that there are different reasons as to why Krishna ate dirt, and we covered about 14 of them yesterday. Today we will continue from that point and see another 6 points to make it to 20 in the list. And the acharyas have given them, and I am just adding a few points and giving few captions and making it as practical lessons and things like that. So yesterday, just to review, It may not be in the same order that we covered, but I'll just read through the different points that we mentioned. One lesson, lesson number one, was we are what we eat. So Krishna accepted Raj because in the future he has to perform a lot of Rajogun activities. He has to be the king, he has to fight battles. So we are what we eat. If we want to be Sattva Guni as Vaishnavas in our life, then we have to accept prasadam, which is like that, which is not spicy, which is not old, which is not pungent and um, fuming in the throat. So we have to eat things which are fresh, and we mentioned yesterday things which are sanctioned and sanctified and regulated. So that was the point. Second point, we mentioned how Krishna is trying to offset the poison in the body, which was induced because of the presence of Putana and Vishasya Visham Aushadam. It is one, the poison is used or injected into the body to kick the previous poison out. So the poison for the poison appears to be like medicine. So this teaches us that our past conditioning that is like poison, and we have to by force sit and perform sadhana, which initially may seem to be like poison. It's not that I'm not saying that sadhana is poisonous. It is extremely nectarian for souls who are performing bhajan. But for us, we may find it difficult to wake up early in the morning and be regulated in our practice. So that may seem to be a little difficult. Somehow, all of us are pushing through 1 month of Kartik, and after Kartik is over, the mind may say, now relax. But that's the test to keep it going. So, Vishasya Visham Aushadam. Sadhana is performed. Steadfast sadhana is performed, which may seem to be like poison in the beginning, and that poison is needed to offset the previous poison of past life conditioning. That was the second point. Third point, Krishna is teaching us if you keep lying too much, then even water won't be a good agent to clean our mouth as Achman. We may have to perform Achman with mud, teaching us that we have to be very strict with our etiquettes and our cleanliness. Etiquettes in the sense that we don't speak lies and contaminate our mouth. We also mentioned yesterday about taking our smartphones to our restroom or taking our smartphones and carrying it all day, and it's contaminating. Just contaminating on two fronts for the the content in the phone, which is quite contaminating, and at the same time, you don't know where we keep it, and we always have it in our hands. We are carrying something that's placed all over the place. Sometimes it's on the couch, sometimes it's on the bed, sometimes it's on the table, sometimes it's on the floor, and that's what we are carrying in our hands and in our pocket. So Krishna is teaching us, don't contaminate your mouth by lying or associating with things which are contaminating. Krishna is performing Achman to teach us principles. Fourth point was respecting the seven mothers, especially in this context of respecting Mother Earth. Krishna is drinking the milk of Mother Earth in the form of eating mud. So there we mentioned not to contaminate Mother Earth, not to throw things around, not to be mediums of bad etiquette, even social etiquette. Also, to offer obeisance to Mother Earth when we get up, because she is Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam. She is the eternal wife of the Supreme Lord Varahadev or Sri Hari. Then the next point we mentioned was to hide one's devotion, right? Mother Earth, she is called Rasa Devi. She is the source of all tastes. But when Krishna wanted to taste mud, thinking that, oh, she is the embodiment of all taste, she's Rasa Devi, all fruits and vegetables come from her, so how tasty will she be in totality? But when Krishna tasted, it's just mud. So she's hiding all her tastes so wonderfully. So we may have taste in the heart, bhakti rasa, but we should not walk around as a very um, devotional person who's tasting a lot of sweetness on their path. One should always be in a humble state of mind, begging that actually I want to be a good devotee. I'm far away from that reality, so please kindly bless me in this mood. So Krishna is accepting Rasa Devi and teaching us to be like Mother Earth, who is externally, like the mud, is hiding her devotion, but in her heart, she's very tasty with all the different crops that grow from her. We also mentioned how Krishna is wiping his mouth with mud, which has been full of butter. His hands have been full of butter, his mouth has been full of butter. Now he's hiding all of that with mud. There's mud in the external, mud in the palms. Again, same point that we were mentioning, how sadhus, even if they're weeping in separation from Krishna, they will say, no, something actually went into my eyes. I am tearing up, or there's watering from the eyes because there has been some uh, object which has gone in. It's not that I have any love. So again, on the point of hiding one's devotion, there may be a lot of butter in the mouth, there may be a lot of butter in the palms, but Krishna is hiding all of that successfully with mud. Then we also mentioned that if one has been eating a lot of butter and sweets for a long time, one may end up spoiling one's stomach. So one has to now give that up and for some time take some dry medicines. So Krishna, therefore, he's thinking, I have been a serial butter thief, so now I must take break from my butter stealing pastimes and just eat mud for some time, to teach the whole world this lesson, that if we have been sense gratifying for a long time, if we have been enjoying our senses for a long time, we have to stop. Whether it is um, smoking, drinking, eating meat, or even addiction to wrong content on the internet, we have to stop. Just yesterday, I was hearing this very beautiful class by Srila Prabhupada, 1971 or 73, one of the 2 years, I'm not sure. Srila Prabhupada was saying something amazing, really amazing. Srila Prabhupada said, oftentimes people come to a sadhu and they say, please give me your blessings. And the sadhu is giving Krishna Katha and, let's say, books. Srila Prabhupada is giving books. And then when they are told, read these books or hear these classes, then they will still say, please give me your blessing so that I can hear properly. Or please give me your blessing so I can read. Please give me your blessing so I can chant. Srila Prabhupada was saying that is like someone is in the ditch and they're saying, please help me. And the person from outside has put the rope within. Now, if you say, please give me your blessing so I can hold this rope, Srila Prabhupada says, this is foolishness. It is the mercy of the person outside that he has put in the rope. Now it's our duty to hold on to that rope so that the other person can pull us up. There you can't fake it by being inside and faking humility that, oh, you please bless me so I can hold. No, hold we must. You can take the horse to the pond, but drink it must. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada was saying, Guru gives instructions, Guru gives shelter, but one must follow the principles. That's up to us. We have to give up eating butter and we have to voluntarily start taking some medicines, that is mud, in this pastime. Krishna is giving up the butter and forcibly taking mud. He's not saying, please, Nanda Maharaj, oh Yashodarani, please give me the blessing so that I can give up butter and I can start taking the mud. Now you have to just jump in and start taking it. We have to chant, we have to read, we have to hear. These are initially like the dry mud, and we have to do it by force, and we have to hide and do it. Bhavan Bhakshitavan Rahaha. We have to honor Krishna's names in our mouth. Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolo Re Bolo Bhai Badana Bhari. Just like Krishna's filling his mouth with mud. We have to fill our mouth with the holy name, which may seem to be dry and dusty initially. And Rahaha. We have to do it in seclusion. What does that mean? We have to sit and hear the holy name. Of course, sitting and chanting in the association of devotees is very glorious and very inspiring, but we must also take some time out in a clean place, in a quieter place, to sit and hear our own chanting. For accountability, chanting with devotees is wonderful because then we know, because somebody just closes their door and say that I'm sitting and chanting, but if they're sleeping or they're browsing on their phone, there is no accountability. So it's good to sit in the association of devotees and chant, but one must also chant a few rounds in seclusion. Bhavan Bhakshitavan Rahaha. To read in seclusion, to hear in seclusion, to contemplate, to chant, so that we chant and hear our own chanting very attentively. So we have to give up the butter. We have to give up. The butter could be our smartphone. The butter could be um, free mixing with the opposite gender. The butter could be frivolous talking and gossiping. These are all butter on the tongue. We slip through all these topics. So we have to realize and we have to forcibly give it up. We can say, now, please give me your blessing so I can give it up. No, we have to wake up. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to say, if someone is faking that they're asleep, you can wake them up. Imagine if someone's not asleep, but they're acting as if they're asleep. How much ever you try to wake them up, they're not going to wake up because they're faking it. But if someone is actually asleep, you wake them up, they will be awake. So similarly, if we act, we are very humble, or if we act as if we're asleep in this example, how much ever instruction is given, parato swatova, one will not wake up. One has to be sincere. And we hear instructions, we read, now put it to practice. Adanta gobi, vishatamta mishram. That is the butter. We have to give up sense gratification. We have to wake up. We can say, please give me your blessings so I can wake up early. Now you have to put your alarm clock on. Don't snooze. Keep it away from the bed. And when it rings, get up. That's giving up the butter sleep of 4 a.m., 5 a.m. That's the butter sleep. In Marathi, you call it sakhar zop. Sakhar zop means that is the most sugar sleep, most sweet sleep from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. But that's the butter we have to give up. Krishna's teaching us. I did elaborate a little more on this point because that's what personally I feel I need it. And if any of my friends we feel it's practical, then this is the point. We give up the butter that has been slipping us from the path of spiritual life and derailing us into repeated birth and death. We have to give up that butter and sit in seclusion and eat some mud. Just on this point, I also want to add one little pastime that I suddenly remembered of Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was on the banks of Radha Kund and he was chanting. And in his mind started, at least in the pastime, I don't know how far that is true, at least in the pastime, in his mind, he felt like eating sweets. There was a very strong urge to eat sweets. Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, immediately, he took a lump of mud from the banks of Radha Kund and filled his mouth with it. And he told his tongue, eat this and chant Hare Krishna. Eat this and chant Hare Krishna. Don't you dare get me again to eating tasty preparations. So, teaching us. Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is teaching us. So please don't literally take mud in your mouth. We are discussing Krishna's dirt eating pastime. But in principle, we must. Next point, Krishna is teaching us to be practicing equanimity through butter and mud. We should be equally disposed with happiness and distress, friendship and enemies, winter and summer, man, apaman, honor and dishonor. That same mouth with which Krishna ate butter, he's also accepting mud, teaching us. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Sometimes, as the phrase in English goes, we have to bite the dust. Sometimes we have to bite the dust. We have to face things in our life which we don't like, which we don't want, but they're just unavoidable. So we walk through it, understanding this is my prarabdha karma. This is something from past lives. So I just tolerate. We tolerate the joy. Yes, we tolerate the joy because it takes our mind away from Krishna. And we tolerate the suffering because we have invoked it from past life. Bhunjana eva atma kritam vipakam. To understand that I am responsible, others are only medium. Krishna says such people, such devotees are very dear to me. Next point, to understand that even if Krishna is a child and he's eating butter, or he's eating mud, or he's stealing clothes, or he's speaking lies, or he's rolling in the ground, or he's Dwarkadish, let mud of doubt not come between Krishna and us. Let wrong philosophies not come in our life, right? Sometimes we may think, oh, what kind of God is this? He's running around naked from home to home, stealing butter. What kind of God is he? He's eating dirt. Well, he's always Krishna. He's always all attractive. Srila Prabhupada explains Krishna is eating mud because he's performing Naravat Leela, childlike pastimes. And there has to be source for everything. Children, if they are having Annamay Kosh and they're eating mud and they're eating from the floor, there has to be an Acharya who has to start that parampara also, because Krishna is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. So Prabhupada explains this is Krishna's Naravat Leela, human-like pastimes. So let no mud of wrong philosophy, wrong ideas, doubts, distractions come between us and our unflinching faith and love and service and affection to the lotus feet of Śrī Kṛṣṇa, Śrī Hari. Because Raja Vidya, we mentioned Raja Vidya, Raja Kuhyam. This is the, if we know that Krishna is God and if we are ready to serve him, this is the best knowledge in the material and the spiritual worlds. There's nothing higher than this. Once we have attained this, no looking back, because Bahunam Janmanamante. This we get after millions of births. Let's hold on to it as our greatest possession. This is the most wonderful treasure in our life, the opportunity to practice bhakti every morning, to practice bhakti in the association of devotees, to practice bhakti in this human form, and to go back home, back to Godhead in one lifetime. No more repeated birth and death. How joy producing is that? So let no mud come between us and Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Then we mentioned the greatness of a person is ascertained by his or her ability to tolerate provoking situation. Srila Prabhupada mentions that in the Krishna book, which I heard from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj for the first time. Here, Mother Earth is called Kshama Devi. She is the abode of all forgiveness and tolerance. So Krishna, according to Sri Hari Suriji, he wanted some mercy from Mother Earth to get Amsha, Kshama Amsha, a portion of forgiveness. Because everybody's complaining about Krishna and it was too intolerable for a 3-year-old child to go through. Everybody, he's the talk of the town or the village. The gopis are complaining, the gopas are complaining. So to tolerate all of that, Krishna associated with the most forgiving, the most tolerant person, Mother Earth, and said, please give me your mercy. Give me a portion of your Kshama Dharanam, Sri Hari Suriji writes. Krishna accepted some Kshama, a portion of Mother Earth, so that he can accept a portion of that tolerance, to tolerate and forgive all the complaints. Then we also mentioned human life is very rare. If we are not careful, what is under our feet could very soon be in our mouth. The grass which is under our feet could be in our mouth, in the sense we could slip from human form and become goat and sheep, and we can be 4-legged animals eating that same grass or eating from the floor. So we have to be very careful. Krishna is teaching us. As Jagat Guru, he's teaching us. See, mud is under my feet, but if you're not careful, dear devotees, Krishna is telling all of us, then the same mud could very well be in our mouth in no time. We also mentioned how Sri Surdas Ji talks about lotus and mud. He says how Krishna is the abode of lotus, and lotus does grow in mud. So Krishna is naturally having affinity to mud. The lotus grows from mud, therefore it's called Pankaja. And Krishna has no mud. He is completely lotus. So therefore the lotus thought very kindly, very mercifully to associate and give his association to mud. So there was mud in the hands, mud in the feet, mud in the body, and also some mud in the mouth. Then we also mentioned about how for seva we have to take some initiative. We mentioned how Krishna very soon is going to show the universe in his mouth to Mother Yashoda. And that is some work. To create something, you need some Rajogun. To maintain its Sattva gun, to destroy its Tamogun. So Krishna is creating the universe in his mouth very soon, and therefore he's collecting some Rajogun. Raja means Mother Earth or dust. So we should pray as if it depends on Krishna, and we should work as if it depends on us. We can't slacken on either or. We can say, I will just be a workaholic, God doesn't exist. Or we can just say, I will just pray, it'll all happen. Well, it could if one is very advanced. But at my level, at our level, we should pray to Krishna with all our heart and work for Krishna with all our might. So here, some Rajagun is needed, some planning, some systematic organization. If you have to start a preaching program, we can't just say, okay, I will just chant and everything will happen. It could very well happen, but at least on a practical level, we have to think of where the programs will be. We have to think about who's going to host the programs, who's going to cook. The prasadam is not going to come out of nowhere. We have to think of what is the timing of the program, where the parking is going to be. And when the footwear, the slippers of the devotees are kept outside, it must be properly organized. And you have to clean the place. The lighting has to be proper. If the devotee who's coming giving a class has a PowerPoint presentation, we have to think of where the TV or the projection is going to be. So this is some planning and execution. So we have to accept some Rajogun for creating something beautiful. Krishna is teaching us that. And also, the 14th point we mentioned yesterday was keeping track of our progress. Krishna is remembering his incarnation as Parshuram. And in Parshuram avatar, what did Parshuram do? He gave the whole of earth in charity to the Dvijas, the twice born Brahmanas. So Krishna now thinks, okay, now I have to continue from there and continue marching because Parshuram avatar was in the past and now I'm appearing as Purna Purushottama. So right from childhood, I should start off by giving charity of Mother Earth to the Dvijas, the twice born. Not the Brahmanas, but the teeth, which are also twice born. So, in this mood, remembering his past and now progressing from there, right from his childhood, he continued from where Parshuram left off. Parshuram gave charity of Mother Earth, and Krishna also gave charity of Mother Earth to the. Of course, the understanding could be he should have given it to the Brahmanas, but there were no Brahmanas around. Krishna's just playing with Vaishyas. So there are no Dvijas in the form of Brahmanas. There are no Dvijas in the form of birds, the twice born. So the closest Dvija, twice born, were the teeth. So Krishna gave some charity of Mother Earth to the Dvijas. Now let's continue from this point. It is described by the Acharyas, by Sri Harisuriji in his Bhakti Rasayanam, that the whole world should get the devotion of Vrindavan. The whole world should get the dust of Vrindavan. But it's impossible for everyone to come to Vrindavan and collect dust. You see how many in this world are human beings? Very few compared to Brahma's whole creation. In that, how many are devotees? How many do know the glory of Vrindavan? Very few. And how many have the chance to actually go to Vrindavan among those who know the glory? There may be somebody who wants to go to Vrindavan but is not able to go to Vrindavan. It's possible. Or there are those who go to Vrindavan but may not value Vrindavan. They're just going on a sightseeing. So Krishna is thinking to himself, the whole world should get the devotion of Vrindavan, the dust of Vrindavan. But it's not possible for them to come here and do it, accept it. So therefore, because all the jivas live in universes and all the universes live in me, therefore I will take dust of Vrindavan and put it in my mouth in the spirit of preaching the love of Vrindavan to the whole world. So somewhere you can see the seed of Gaura avatar is manifesting in Damodar, in Gopal, where the whole world should get Vrindavan. This mood Krishna is developing here, that the whole universe, the whole creation should get the love of Vrindavan, the dust of Vrindavan. And in this mood, the fastest way he could preach is by taking one palmful of dust and putting in his mouth, because all universes in no time we will see are in Krishna's body. So all jivas and all universes get the dust from one source. So preaching about Vrindavan to the whole world, this is the spirit Krishna is teaching us, that the whole world should know about Vrindavan. Krishna is also teaching us that patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmana. Sometimes Gajendra may offer me a flower, I accept it. Sometimes The fruit vendor may give me some fruits, I may accept it. Sometimes Advaita Acharya may give tulsi leaf, I accept it. Sometimes Dukhi in Gaura Leela may just offer and rearrange pots of water and I accept it. Sometimes the wife of Vidura, instead of offering a fruit, may just offer a peel of a banana and I still accept it. Krishna is teaching us what I actually accept is not the object, but I accept the devotion behind it. Therefore, dear devotees, for all times to come, Krishna is teaching us that what I really like to taste in seclusion by my own wish is the foot dust of my devotees. This is what I want. What I am eager to taste is not the external. It is not the chapan bhog. It is not the fruits. It's not the vegetables. It is the devotion behind it, the intention behind it. Someone may be offering an annakut, but the intention may be, okay, just duty bound. This is a festival. I'm supposed to do it. Let me just do it. Krishna may not relish that as much as Krishna may relish maybe another annakut which has been offered with all their heart. So what Krishna is accepting is the devotion. So hiding, Bhavan Bhakshitavan Raha, Krishna is hiding and accepting the foot dust of his devotees, teaching all of us the most tasty sweet for me is the lotus foot dust of my Brajvasis. This is what I love to taste. This is what I want. And this is somewhere tying even with Gaura Avatar, बिकॉज आपन ही न कइला धर्म शिखाई न जाए यही तो सिद्धांत गीता भागवते गाय आपन ही करीमु भक्त भावे अंगीकार आपन ही करीमु भक्ति शिखामु शबार Chaitanya Charitamrita says, unless we practice, we can't give it to others. So Krishna's thinking, I want to give the love of Vrindavan, the dust of Vrindavan to the whole world. Then Krishna thought, but I must accept it first myself. So in the mood that in the future as Sriman Mahaprabhu, I will practice Gopi Bhav. I will practice bhakti in the wake of the gopis, in the mood of Sri Radharani. I must accept Sri Radharani's lotus foot dust. I must accept her mercy. I must first accept it myself, become a devotee, and then preach it to the whole world. So the previous point was giving it to the whole world, and this point is first let me accept it myself. So in this mood, Bhaktaihi Bhakta Janapriya, Krishna is sitting in seclusion and saying, I accept the foot dust of my devotees. Puyayithyangri renubihi nirapeksham munim shantam nirvairam samadarshina anuvrajamyaham nityam puyayityangri renubihi. In the Bhagavatam, it is described, Krishna mentions that those who are selfless, nirapeksham, munim, extremely contemplative, shantam, extremely peaceful, nirvaira, those who don't envy anyone, and samadarshinaha, those who look at everyone with equal vision. If someone has these five qualities, well, the Vrajagopis do. Krishna says, Anuvrajamyaham nityam puyayatyangri renubihi. I walk behind their lotus feet so that the dust from their feet touches my body and I become purified. This is there in the Bhagavatam. This is why, to prove this point, Padbhyam chalanyo pratima swarupo brahmanya devo hi shatah gamyam desham yayo viprakrite bhuteham tam sakshi gopalam aham natosmi. The Lord became Sakshi Gopal and he walked behind the devotee. So that story is not about a marital proposal between two brahmanas. That's not the point. The point of Sakshi Gopal is Krishna's Bhakta Vatsalya, quality of being controlled by his devotees. So Sakshi Gopal is walking behind the Vaishnav because the dust raised from the lotus feet of the Vaishnav is purifying Sakshi Gopal. Of course, Krishna is all pure. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, you are the supreme pure. And in the Bhagavatam, Krishna says, I get that purity from the foot dust of my devotees. Therefore, to become pure in intent, I will accept the foot dust secretly. That is what nourishes Krishna. He accepts the mood, and that is what he wants to preach to the whole world. So he's accepting the foot dust to practice and accept the lotus foot dust, the lotus mood of Sri Radharani's devotion, become a devotee himself as Mahaprabhu, and give it to the whole world. And both of that happens through the mouth. So he's accepting for himself and also feeding the whole world, practicing and preaching. This also gives us one more lesson connected to this, that when Krishna puts mud in his mouth, he's feeding himself and he's also feeding the whole world, right? He's feeding himself and feeding the whole world. So teaches us, yatha tarur moola nishechanena tripyanti tat skanda bhujopi shakha pranopahara cha yatendriyanam tathaiva sarvaranam achyutejya. Srila Prabhupada would quote this verse in his purport whenever the context of Krishna is the root, by serving him, the whole world is satisfied. This context comes in. Srila Prabhupada will quote this verse many, many times in his purport. This means that just like watering the root of a tree nourishes all the branches and leaves, similarly, serving Krishna, offering all our devotion to Krishna, will nourish the whole world. One person, if that one person becomes a devotee, you can see everyone who comes in contact with him becomes a devotee. Srila Prabhupada spent time in Radha Damodar, and you see the power that he could give the whole world. Every Acharya spends time in polishing one's devotional sentiments first. And in doing that, one becomes so fragrant that the preaching becomes powerful. Everyone becomes magnetized. So Krishna is teaching us, if you really want to do good to the whole world, then do good to yourself first by first becoming a nice devotee. So by feeding Krishna, the whole world is fed. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. Krishna is feeding mud to himself and feeding the whole world. Just like we find even in the pastime of Akshay Patra. One grain Krishna was fed by Draupadi Devi. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. The whole world is fed. Durvasa Muni, 60,000 disciples, they were one shot of stomach upset. That's how much they had eaten. They were all having pain in their belly. So this is the principle. If you want to give mud to the whole world, which means we want to do good to others, first offer all of that to Krishna. By feeding Krishna, by practicing ourselves and being good devotees, offering our heart to Krishna, the whole world can get benefited. This is a point. Next point, we see that Krishna is teaching us that those who come to me helplessly with pain in their life, I myself sit and in seclusion gulp down all their burden down my throat. Mother Earth had come as a cow to Krishna and said, my dear Lord, there's a lot of pain on my back. The adharmic, sinful kings are performing their activities and the burden on my back is increasing. Therefore, Krishna appeared, Prithvi Bharanasho Mukundaha, to reduce the burden of Mother Earth. And now he's sitting there and secretly gulping down the weight of Mother Earth down his throat, teaching us this repeated principle. Krishna has taught this again and again. Gokulenya shrayan tyaktva shruta ye vakshu me jana dukkham adri samam tesham unnayami swayam sada. In Govardhan Leela also, what did the Brajbasis do? They did not listen to any other advice. They only took shelter of Krishna's advice. Krishna said, no Indra Puja this year. Give all your love to Govardhan and cows and brahmanas. So Gokule Anya Ashrayan Tyaktva, giving up all other ideas in Gokul, in Vrindavan. Ashrita ye vakshu ye jana, those who take shelter of Krishna alone. The Brajbasis gave up culture, they gave up age-old tradition, and what will people say, what will people think? They gave up all of that and took shelter of Krishna. Krishna said, worship. We will put, instead of Indra Puja, we will do Go Puja this year. We will worship Govardhan. And for them, when suffering came in their life in the form of the waters or the rain of annihilation, what did Krishna do? He lifted up Giriraj. He took away their burden and gave them shelter. And he did that with his own lotus hands. Unnayami, dukkham adrisamam. Even if such people have mountain-like distress in their life, Krishna will lift it up with his own hands and give shelter. So Mother Earth came like a cow, and she had pain in her back. And when she surrendered to Krishna, now Krishna is sitting and reducing her burden, her pain, by gulping down his throat, the mud on her back, which means the weight. So Krishna is teaching us, take shelter of me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. Daivi hesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Oh dear devotees, I can gulp down the forest fire for you. I can gulp down the mud burden on your back. I can lift the mountain of pain. Why fear when I am here? This is the repeated statement that Krishna is teaching all of us. Then after that, Krishna is teaching all of us another beautiful lesson. When we come to Vrindavan and we come to, let's say, Raman Reti, there's so much sand in Vrindavan. And devotees, even today, they roll in the mood of Krishna and Balaram, splashing sand at each other. As we mentioned previously, sand, the dust of Vrindavan, is full of rasa. It's full of devotional juice, and therefore we don't say smearing dust, but we say splashing dust because it's like splashing water, it's like splashing Amrit. So devotees, they roll in Vrindavan. They roll in the dust. They do Dandavati Parikrama. They offer obeisances, and you can see there's dust on their forehead, dust on their face, dust on their body. This is our universe. This is our world. Millions and millions of universes are present in every atom of the dust of Vrindavan. This is what Krishna is teaching us by putting the mud in his mouth and opening his mouth and showing universes in no time. He's saying, oh, dear devotees, don't think this dust of Vrindavan to be something very ordinary. This dust, even if a little child, now Krishna, not for us, but this is very specifically for Krishna. Krishna is teaching us, even if a 3-year-old child puts dust of Vrindavan in his mouth and opens it, eureka, magic, you can see the whole universe in my mouth. To show that's how many universes, that's how many demigods are living in the dust of Braj. Another interesting point is, even the demigods, the Devatas, they were requesting Krishna, according to the commentaries. This is another reason of Krishna eating dirt. The demigods, the Devatas, were requesting Krishna, Krishna, since you are already there, can you give us some dust? So we, being in Swarga, being in heaven, we can still get some dust, some Vrindavan, Brajraj. Krishna said, no, 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 I cannot do it because Brahmaji, you have 4 faces, you have 4 mouths. I have to give you through all mouths. Then there's Panchamukha, Lord Shiva. Then there is Shanmukha, his son, as Kartikeya has 6 faces, 6 mouths. So if I start feeding everyone Brajraj, then I will not have anything because there are 33 crore or 330 million devatas, and many of them have multiple mouths. So with my little baby hands, if I start feeding all of you, then I will not have anything for myself. So all of you are in my body. I will put it through my mouth. You share it the way you want. Showing us that even the Devatas, they want to smear their body with the dust of Vrindavan. Remember the class where we did Baby Shiva in Braj from Śrī Kṛṣṇa? And there we said that Krishna, he looked like Lord Shiva. And just like Lord Shiva has ashes from a crematorium on his body, graveyard, Krishna has ashes, not ashes, but he has dust from Vrindavan. Now we'll add another perspective here, connecting that class to this one. Lord Shiva, although externally seems to be as Bhutanath, he's sitting, Bhuteshwar, he's sitting in the crematorium or he's sitting in a graveyard. He is sitting there to give his association and uplift those who are in ghostly species of life. He is not smearing the dust or the bhasma from a graveyard. That is actually the dust of Vrindavan. Lord Shiva as Gopeshwar Mahadev is smearing the dust. He loves Krishna so much. The water that has washed the feet of Krishna, Ganga is on his head. The prasadam that Krishna accepts as Icheshwar or Aseshwar Mahadev in Nandagram, he's sitting to accept the prasadam remnants of Krishna's plate. And now, Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh Tini Mahabal. A Vaishnav likes to accept these 3 aspects: the dust of the feet of a Vaishnav, the water that has washed the feet of a Vaishnav, and remnants from the plate. So Lord Shiva is accepting all 3. He is accepting Ganga, which is Charanamrit on his head. He's accepting remnants of Krishna's plate in his mouth as Mahaprasad. And he's also accepting the dust of Krishna's lotus feet as ashes, decoration, as ornaments on his body. So this is another principle. And final point in this regard, regarding Mrida Bhakshan. Next time we see mud, the vision is not going to be the same. This is what Hari Katha does. One of Prabhupada's disciples, he was preached to, of course, came from a non-devotional background. He was preached to, made into a devotee. Parents had a big problem. They got in a deprogrammer. A deprogrammer is a person who deprograms the brainwashing that has been done. So the deprogrammer sat with the devotee and said, okay, I just want to know more about you. Who are you? And the devotee said that Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishner Nitya Das. I am an eternal, eternal part and parcel of Krishna. So the deprogrammer said, okay, wonderful. Tell me more about your family. Give me a background about you. And he said, which family are we talking about? Because I have been transmigrating from one birth to another, from one womb to another, from one species to another over lifetimes. And I have had mother, father, brother, sister, son, daughter, siblings in all these births. But the constant companion is Krishna. So Krishna is my mother, Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhanapran. Krishna is my mother, Krishna is my father. Okay, the deprogrammer is thinking, okay, fair enough. Makes a lot of sense to me. He said, so where are you from? Tell me something about your background. He said, I am belonging to Krishna, but somehow or the other, Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Budho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stita Dhuli Sadrasham Vichintaya. I have fallen into the cycle of birth and death. My eternal abode, my eternal home is Goloka Vrindavan. Once attaining that home, I will never fall back into the cycle of birth and death. Yad Gatva Na Nivartante Tad Dhama Paramam Mama. This deprogrammer came out after some time and he told, you please take this person away. Another 5 minutes I spend with him, I will become a Hare Krishna. So please take him away. Please take him away. And when Srila Prabhupada heard this, he was so happy. He was so happy because this deprogrammer said, this person, this patient seems to be permanently brainwashed, permanently damaged. So when Srila Prabhupada heard this, he said, this is Krishna consciousness. This is permanent. This is permanent brainwashing. This is forever. We have become Krishna. We have announced our identity as eternal, permanent devotees of Krishna, servants of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada was so happy. So here at this point, as the section in our Mrid Bhakshan Leela, this teaches us that the more we study, the more we hear about Krishna, we will be permanently damaged. We will be permanently brainwashed. We see mud, we see cradle, we see courtyard, we see pillars, we see butter. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And in the Venugeet series, you see ponds, you see lotuses, we see trees, we see deer, we see peacocks. It's not going to be the same ever again. Absolutely, it's not going to be the same. Hari Katha gives us the vision and paints the canvas of our consciousness with the colors of emotions and attachment like never before. Like never before. Somebody would see mud and think, oh, okay, what is this? And a devotee may be seeing mud and be lost forever, thinking of Krishna. Because these are all stimulants to remember. These are uddipans to remember Krishna. Everything in this world. Absolutely everything in all directions. A pure Vaishnava only remembers verses and katha and pastimes and instances, nothing else. Prahlad Maharaj was able to see God in a pillar. What level of love is that? We have a tough time seeing God even in a deity in the temple. Prahlad Maharaj, his vision, so fine, so fine. So a devotee's devotional instinct or the yardstick to check, the parameter to check his devotional spirit is service attitude to others in a humble state of mind and vision to see Krishna in all circumstances. Ultimately, this is what it boils down to. How do we know about service attitude? Of course, vision we understand. The more we read and hear and chant and pray, we'll be able to see Krishna in persons, in substances, in objects, in circumstances. But how about service attitude? We can see, I'm weaving in some from Venugit also. We can see when Sri Radharani glorifies Giriraj Govardhan as the best devotee. Hantaya Madri Rabala Haridasa Varyo. Sri Radharani is the greatest devotee, and she calls Giriraj the greatest devotee. And what was the criteria for that? It was twofold. Radharani gave two characteristics of Giriraj Govardhan by which she calls Giriraj Govardhan as the best servant of Krishna. What are they? Yad Ramakrishna Charana Sparasha Pramodaha. To be touched by Krishna and to find inner joy. So, this is point number one. In all circumstances, to see the hand or the lotus feet of Krishna and to find exhilaration in the heart. In all circumstances, even if someone comes and glorifies us, we see, oh, Krishna is trying to test me how much name, fame, recognition, respect I want. Or if someone comes and criticizes, oh, Krishna is only orchestrating this so that I can develop some tolerance. So this is one. First category or first characteristic of someone who is a very advanced Vaishnava is exhilaration, ecstasy in seeing Krishna in all circumstances, being touched by Krishna's lotus feet, like Giriraj, one. And second, manam tanoti, to offer respect. To whom? To those who are dear to Krishna. Manam tanoti saha go ganayostayoryat. Cows and friends are very dear to Krishna, and Giriraj serves all of them, all those who are dear to Krishna. So service attitude to others and being so humble. Giriraj is quiet. He lets everyone step on him. So being humble, respectful to others, and serving others, seeing Krishna living in their heart, and at the same time, in all circumstances, seeing Krishna's hand. These are the characteristics of true devotion. It is not the talent and the skill set of how many subscribers on social media or how melodious is somebody's voice or how knowledgeable or how all of these bells and whistles. It's good to use all of them in Krishna's service, but ultimately to respect others and serve them, and at the same time, see the hand of God, or let's say to be imprinted by the lotus feet of Krishna. So these are two characteristics that Sri Radharani talks about, and that is what Harikatha does to us. So finally, final point in this regard, why is Krishna eating dirt? Well, this is to prove his point against all the butter stealing pastimes. Krishna's eating dirt here, and when the complaints are coming, Krishna's telling Mother Yashoda, oh Maya, I am picking dirt from the floor which belongs to my father Nanda Baba, because Nanda Baba owns the whole of Vrindavan. So something that belongs to my father and something as insignificant as dust on the floor, if I eat, which belongs to my father, these people have problem. Do you really think they will let me enter their home and eat the most sweetest butter that they're preparing? Impossible. They have a problem even if I eat mud in my own courtyard and they're complaining to you. So Maya, from this hence proved, I have proven to you that all those arguments about me being a butter thief and stealing and breaking into homes is all baseless. This is all. So from Leela Ras, from the standpoint of Leela, Krishna is teaching us. Also teaching us that sometimes as Vaishnavas, when we have to make statements, we have to back it up with Shastra. We have to prove our points. We have to prove, if we say something, Srila Prabhupada always wanted preachers and devotees to be like lawyers, proving everything from the law book. So Krishna here, till now he was saying, I have not stolen, I have not broken into anybody's home, I have not eaten any butter, but now he's giving a proof. Look, Maya, I am eating dirt and they have a problem. This is not their dust. This is not dirt from their home. And it is dirt. It's not butter. and they still have complaints against me. Do you really think they will tolerate me entering their home and eating their sweetest butter possible that they slog in and work hard for hours together to make? Impossible, Maya. Maya hence proved. I have proven my point. So Krishna as Jagat Guru, as the Guru, for everything that he's doing, he is actually giving praman. So these were different considerations and lessons and perspectives on Mrid Bhakshan Leela. So let's read the next verse. And as I mentioned, we will go a little over time. So I hope that's fine. Text 36. Yadyevam tarhi vyadehi tyuktas bhagavan harihi vyadattavyahatishwarya krida manuja balakah. Srila Prabhupada's translation and purport. Mother Yashoda challenged Krishna, if you have not eaten earth, then open your mouth wide. When challenged by his mother in this way, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, to exhibit pastimes like a human child, opened his mouth. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is full of all opulences, did not disturb Mother Yashoda's parental affection, his opulences was automatically displayed, for Krishna's opulence is never lost at any age or any stage, but is manifest at the proper time. Purport. Without disturbing the ecstasy of his mother's affection, Krishna opened his mouth and displayed his own natural opulences. When a person is given variety of food, now that's a good example. When a person is given variety of food, there may be 101 varieties, but if one likes ordinary shak, spinach, he prefers to eat that. Similarly, although Krishna was full of opulences now, by the order of Mother Yashoda, he opened wide his mouth like a human child and did not neglect the transcendental humor of maternal affection. Quite interesting. It goes both ways. Both ways. Krishna opening his mouth and showing Chappan Bhog, but Mother Yashoda still picking the child over the whole opulence. That's like picking what you like in the gamut of preparations. Krishna is giving so many options. We'll see in the subsequent verses. Krishna is showing the whole universe in his mouth, and Mother Yashoda still picks her baby over the whole creation. That's one. And from Krishna's side, Krishna shows the whole universe to his mother, and instead of confusing her and having a jnani who offers obeisances to him, he picks his mother by later closing his mouth and just smiling. So both are making their own picks. Krishna's not picking a devotee, and Yashoda's not picking Bhagavan. Krishna's picking his mother, and Yashoda is picking her child. That's the purport of that example that Srila Prabhupada gives in the purport. So at this point, Krishna is telling Mother Yashoda, Yadi satya giras tarhi samaksham pashyame mukham. If you really want to know who is speaking the truth, whether I'm speaking the truth or they're speaking the truth, very simple, Maya, very simple. You just look into my mouth. I'll open my mouth. If you don't believe me, I'll open my mouth. And then you look into my mouth and you see whether what I'm speaking is truthful or what they're saying is truthful. Krishna thought, generally when you say like that, imagine somebody asks us, did you keep the milk in the fridge? And we say, yes, I kept the milk in the fridge. You say, are you really sure? Because if you keep it outside, it'll get spoiled. Yes, I kept it in the fridge. Are you completely sure that you also closed the door of the fridge? Because if you keep the milk in the fridge, but the door is still open, it's not going to work. You have to close the door. Yes, I did it. Now, before sleeping for the night, are you completely sure you kept the milk? Then what would we say? You come, I will show the milk can in the fridge. You see it for yourself. Then the other person will say, no, I trust you. I believe you. Krishna tried this strategy with his mother. He said, no, I have not eaten. Maya Yashoda said, no, you have eaten. Krishna said, okay, then why don't you look into my mouth and then you will know for sure. He thought Mother Yashoda will say, oh, this child is pretty confident. No, I trust you. Little baby Gopal, you don't have to open your mouth. I trust you. But for the source of all sources, the Lord of all lords, the creator of all creators, the origin of all origins, He who is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer, the past, present, and future, the inside and outside of everything that exists, his plan backfired. His plan backfired. He thought, if I tell my Maya, yes, you look into my mouth, my Maya will say, no, no, Gopal, I trust you. But when he actually said, I will open my mouth, you see for yourself, Yashoda said, good, good, very good. That's a good idea. Now open your mouth. Let me see. Let me look into your mouth. So, yadi evam tarhi vyadehi. Yashoda said, oh, if that is so, open your mouth. Vyadehi. That is a good idea. Oh, yadi satya girastarhi samaksham pashyame mukham. You can look into my mouth, oh Maya. Oh, that's a very good idea. Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi. Please open your mouth. Iti ukta sa Bhagavan Harihi. That same Bhagavan, that same Harihi said like this, that please look into my mouth. And Yashoda told that same Hari, that same Bhagavan, that same Śrī Kṛṣṇa, good idea. Open your mouth. Let me see. And at that time, Vyadatta, he opened his mouth. And when Krishna opened his mouth, Avyahata Aishwarya, his Aishwarya did not shrink, his Aishwarya did not hide, his opulences did not disappear. Vyadatta, as he opened his mouth casually in the pastime, Avyahata Aishwarya, his Aishwarya did not minimize, did not shrink. Krida Manuja Balakaha, that child Krishna, who's Krida Manuja, who has appeared as a human-like child for playing in this world. He doesn't get to do that as Ram Avatar or as Narsinga Avatar. You don't have a baby Narsimha. Imagine crawling Narsinga Dev in the courtyard. You don't have a baby childhood Vatsalya pastimes of Varahadev or Narsingadev. So Krida, to play to his heart's content, to frolic Krishna as Manuja Balak, as a child, to a human-like Nanda Baba, Krishna appeared to play. And that Lord started to play by opening his mouth. And when he opened his mouth, his Aishwarya did not shrink. Our acharyas at this point have given some nice perspectives to this verse. Sri Sridhar Swami Pad, he says, Vyadehi. When Mother Yashoda said, open your mouth, that means mukham prasaraya. Show your mouth not like how you yawn, not like how you show me your teeth. Open it wide. I really want to look inside. Mukham prasaraya. Open it up completely. That's what Vyadehi means according to Sridhar Swami. And Vyadatta, Krishna did do that. Prasaritavan. He opened it so wide that he opened it once and we're all still talking about it. We're still talking about it. In Narasimha Avatar, when he opened his mouth and he attahasa, he loudly laughed. It was so horrifying, so intense, so fierce. That same potency is there in the big thing came in a small package this time. Krida Manuja Balaka. So that same mouth, that same potency, Krishna opened his mouth. Prasaritavan, he opened it up so wide. Sri Sanatan Goswami Pad. Sri Sanatan Goswami Pad says, what does that saha mean? Saha Bhagavan. If you see this verse, it says, Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi iti uktah sa Bhagavan Hari. Sa Bhagavan Hari. All these three words Sri Sanatan Goswami Pad has commented on. He says Saha. What does that Saha mean? He who, tat pronoun, sarvanam, Saha taute, Saha, he who, wo Prabhu, wahi Prabhu, that same Lord that Sir refers to. Which same Lord? Sri Sanatan Goswami writes, who reveals himself only on his own accord. Mother Yashoda in this pastime is not opening Krishna's mouth by force. She is only saying, Vyadehi, please reveal yourself to me. Open your mouth. So it's not Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa, eating sugar, no, Papa, telling lies, no, Papa, open your mouth, ha, ha, ha. No, no, that's not the original one. The original one is Krishna, Krishna, yes, Mama. Eating mud? No, mama. Or no, maya. Telling lies? No, maya. Open your mouth? Wow, wow, wow. Oh, amazing, amazing, amazing. Mother Yashoda is stunned what's there in Krishna's mouth. So it's in this material world, everything gets reflected. So it started with Krishna, Krishna, yes, Maya. It became Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa. So this is the actual nursery rhyme. So why the word Saha? Because we cannot by force have revelation of Krishna in our life. Krishna has to reveal himself, being pleased with us. We can only say Vyadehi, open your mouth. And then he has to open it and reveal it to us. This has been explained in Bhagavatam also. In the 12th canto, there is a very beautiful verse about this. If clouds are covering our vision of the sun, can we by force tear open the clouds and have the sun reveal himself to us? We cannot do that. The sun will tear the cloud and reveal the light to us according to his own accord. So Krishna is the sun. We are the jivas and the cloud is Maya. The cloud doesn't cover the sun, the cloud covers our vision of the sun. So Maya doesn't cover Krishna, Maya covers us from Krishna. So we don't have the power to tear open Maya and push ourselves and have revelation of Krishna. We can only pray. Like Mother Yashoda, we can only say, Vyadehi, please open your mouth. Please reveal yourself to me. And then Krishna will reveal himself on the basis of our sincerity, our intention. So therefore the word Saha, here Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad mentions, is that Lord who cannot be forced to reveal himself. Krishna is a transcendental autocrat. He is a transcendental autocrat. It doesn't work our way. We can only say Vyadehi. Like Mother Yashoda, we can say Yadi evam tarhi Vyadehi. Krishna, if it is so, please kindly open your mouth. Please reveal yourself in all circumstances to me. If we are confused, if we are fearful, if we are happy, if we are sad, we are morose, in all circumstances, we can only say, please, Krishna, reveal yourself to me. What Mother Yashoda is asking Krishna to do is a very significant lesson for all of us. There is so much hidden in this world. In every circumstance, someone is glorifying us, someone is criticizing us. Krishna is trying to teach us something out of it, and we may not learn that lesson, and therefore we have to go through it again. And again, we may not learn that lesson, and we have to go through it again, and we suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer the same lesson. It's like a child who flunks the class and has to repeat the same grade again and again and again and again, has to do a course or a subject again and again and again because he's not learning the subject matter. What is the subject matter? Seeing Krishna in all circumstances. That is the subject matter. So we, like Mother Yashoda, we can only tell Krishna, Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi. Krishna, please open your mouth, which means please reveal yourself to me in all circumstances. So that is the Saha. Who is the Bhagavan? Bhagavan Parameshwara iti. Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad. To understand that this little child is the Supreme Lord, we don't have to go through any other statements. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam prove it beyond any doubt that Etecham Sakala Pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. We are not confused. People outside may think, I don't know who God is. Maybe there is no God, or maybe there are many gods, or maybe I am God, maybe you are God, maybe we are all God. But here the word Bhagavan is referred for Krishna. Srila Sanatana Goswami says, who is that Bhagavan? The source of indescribable, unlimited potency and glory. He is Bhagavan. So Saha, he who reveals himself to us by his own accord, being pleased by our intention. Bhagavan, he who is the source of everything. And who is Hari? At the same time, he steals our heart with his sweetness. All these three things about God, we must know about Krishna. Bhagavan, he is God. Hari, he is supremely sweet. And Saha, he is the one who reveals himself to us. Vyadatta Avyahata Aishwarya. In all Leelas, he is full of sweetness and he's full of opulence. Opulence never diminishes, even in his sweet pastimes. And Krida Manuja Balaka. Many interpretations have been given for this term, Krida Manuja Balaka. One interpretation is Krishna is a Balaka, he's a child. Manuja, he's a human like child. And he's Kridashil, he's extremely naughty. Whether he's eating butter or whether he's eating mud, or whether on the pretext of eating butter he's eating mud, or on the pretext of eating mud he's eating butter, or he's not eating both of them, he's eating something else, we don't know. Whether he's playing with Mother Yashoda and being serious with his friends, or whether he's playing with his friends and being serious with Mother Yashoda, we don't know. Extremely playful. Krishna is extremely playful. So Krida Manuja Balaka, this child who's appeared like a human to just play in this world in his pastimes, is Krida Manuja Balaka. Another meaning is, Manuja here refers to Nanda Maharaj. Krishna has appeared as Manuja Balaka, as the son of Nanda Maharaj. First meaning, he has appeared like a human child. Second meaning, he has appeared as a child of human like Nanda Maharaj, Manuja. And for the same purpose of Krida. Because if he comes as Bhagavan, he cannot play around. So he comes as a baby, just to frolic and have no responsibility in this world. Just walking around, breaking, crawling, jumping, playing hockey, cheating, hide and seek, cheating. Cheating goes with everything. So Krida Manuja Balaka. Another very wonderful interpretation has been given by Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad for this word Krida Manuja Balaka. He says that Vyadatavyata Hataishwarya Krida Manuja Balaka. This whole line says that his opulence is eternal. He being a child, as a human child, is eternal. Some people proclaim that he is God, but just appears to be a human for some time, but then his pastimes are over, then he becomes God again. It's not true. Srila Sanatana Goswami says he is eternally God. He is eternally human-like as the son of Nanda Maharaj, and his games are eternal. His krida is also Shashwat. So in some of the other universe, Krishna is playing hide and seek. In some of the other universe, Sri Jiva Goswami Pada explains in the Sandarbhas that Krishna's pastimes are eternal there. Krishna's pastimes are eternal in this Vrindavan, that Vrindavan, this Vrindavan, and also in other parallel universes. There are many material universes where there are Vrindavans. And in all those Vrindavans, different pastimes are going on. So Krida Manuja Balaka, as eternal are his Aishwarya Leelas as Vishnu, so eternal are his human-like, childlike pastimes and the games that he plays. And finally, some amazing word split up given by Sri Sanatana Goswami. He says, Krida Manuja Balaka has been explained as Kridam Anu Javalaka. Kridam Anu Kridayam Java iti ita tataha. Dhavanadi Vega Tad Yuktaha Sada Lolaha Alakaha Yasya Saha. Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad explains Kridam or Krida Manuja Balaka as Kridam, Anu, and Javalaka. So this is a different split up of the same word. This is the last point, and with this we will continue. So the last point is either we split it as Krida, which is playful, Manuja, human-like, and Balaka is child, baby. Or we split that as Krida or Kridam. Instead of Krida, Manuja, Kridam, and then Anu and Jabalaka. Kridam, Anu, Jabalaka. 3 words. And in Sanskrit, va and ba are interchangeable. So that third word becomes Javalaka, Java, Alaka. And it is described, Java means swift moving, and Alaka means locks of soft black curly hair. So Kridam means playful, Anu means causing, Java means moving, and alaka means locks of soft black curly hair. That Lord who is running around, playing around so much that his hair is always moving swiftly all over his face. That Lord is Kridam Anu Java Alaka. Java Alaka, he whose hair strands are always swiftly moving, Anu, according to Kridam, his playful, childlike pastimes. So, Krida Manuja Balaka or Kridam Anu Java Alaka. So, these interpretations Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad has given in his Brihad Vaishnav Toshni Tika as that Lord whose locks of hair are always swinging to and fro because of the velocity or the speed in which he is running um, due to his pastimes and his games. So this shows his extreme dedication to his pastimes, Krida, that he's always running around, not caring about how he's looking. His earrings are moving, his hair strands and locks of hair are moving. And this is the interpretation Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad says. That child who's extremely playful as a human being and his locks are always moving, swinging back and forth because of the speed of running, Vyadatta Avyahata Aishwarya. He opened his mouth to show the source of all opulence within. And that we will see tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the day of the Brahmanda Darshan, the universal form in the mouth of Bal Gopal. We are fast approaching towards the end of our Katha. Today is already Thursday. Our Kartik Katha, both English and Hindi, will conclude on Wednesday, the last day of Kartik. So we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 days to go. And in these 6 days, we will finish all the remaining verses of this chapter. And same for the Hindi section of the remaining verses of Venugit. So thank you so much, all of you, for your continued support. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai.